What's up, everybody? What's today? Day three? Day three. Tim's going to make a video every day for an entire year. At least one video every day for an entire year. And we're doing okay. It's not even 6:45, and we're working on it. So there's a lot to go over in general, right? So I'm going to have to try to keep these videos to where they're consumable, right? Like, nobody wants to listen to, maybe some people don't even have time to listen to me go on a rant for an hour, right? But I was reading in Proverbs, and Proverbs 13 verse 7 says, there is one who makes himself rich yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor that has great riches. I'm going to say it again. There is one who makes himself rich yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor yet has great riches. Now, I would assume that that's probably pretty self-explanatory to most people. But again, I'm not going to talk about anything that I can't personally relate to, or that I don't have some sort of personal aspect on what I'm talking about, right? Because it's just easier that way, and it's more relatable, right? So there was a time not that long ago, and this is all kind of relative, since I'm going back to work on Monday, and things are starting to change. And in the moment, right, I'm in my mother's basement, and I'm broke, like broke. Um, but I feel like I have more than I ever had for myself, like spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all those things, than when I had, a couple big trucks, or a couple Cadillacs, or the big house, or all that stuff, and money in the bank, right? Like, I was lost, because I was just trying to, fill a void, really, is what it comes down to, with all these things. And from the outside looking in, it probably looks spectacular, and that was the goal, right? Like, if you can put on this facade, this, all these smoke and mirrors, and it looks good from the outside looking in, it's like, who's going to question the guy that has all these things, right? Like, he's got to be doing something right. But really, deep down, I was a wreck, an absolute disaster, right? I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have been doing, and just trying to constantly fill a void. And then subsequently, after a lot of bad decisions, I lost everything, literally everything. Every car, all the money, every truck, the whole 9 yards, gone. And here I am, and looking at it now, it's like, it's a blessing, right? Like, people say a blessing in disguise, but it's pretty obvious that all of those things were taken away so that I could get to where I'm at today, right? And that I can look back and see where I made those mistakes, and see where those things that I thought were so important didn't mean anything. And I feel way better, happier. I mean, I'm sober. I'm a better dad. I'm a better friend, than I was with all that stuff, right? Like, I can see it in my kids. I can see the relationship that we have has changed for the better. The way I interact with people is different, and it's true, right? Like, money doesn't buy happiness, like, it's a tool. And if you're in a good spot, and you're everything's where it should be, then you could use money for good, right? To be a blessing for other people. That's really what it comes down to. Um, but it's it can alter the way you think if you're not, in a good place with God, and if you're not in a good place emotionally or spiritually, mentally, and it can become troublesome, really, because you get full pride, you get full ego, you get full of all these things that are anti-Bible, like the Bible says not to be. And you think because you have a little bit of money and you have all these things that you're somebody important, when really, take it all away and then see what's left. And, I was left a shell of my former self, and that's actually a good thing because, you strip it all away and, it's like rebuilding a truck or a car or a house, you break it all the way down to just bare bones, and start all over. And, in that process, you're going to find a lot of things that were wrong that maybe you didn't see at the surface level. Right. And then if you're at the absolute bottom, rock bottom, bare bones, just a set of frame rails, you can build it back way better than it was before because now you have a clear outlook on exactly what was wrong and all the things that were, troublesome. So that's pretty much going to be the video. Don't let what you have dictate who you are, because if you don't understand who you are as a person personally, then all that stuff it's really not important, and it took me many, many years to realize that. So I'm just passing the message along, and I hope that it touches somebody or resonates with somebody, to the point where you're like, well, Tim's been through it. Maybe I need to take a look at, myself and my situation before it gets out of control, because that's the ultimate goal here is like correct the problem before it's so far off the rails that it takes a lot. And the further you get off the rails, the harder it gets. So, hope everybody had a good Friday. Hope everybody stay in the course with whatever it is that you plan on doing for the new year and stay consistent. And that's it. That's all I got. So have a good night. We'll see you.